All right. Are we on? Yep. Cool. So. Oh shit! I got. There we go. So something funny just happened. I had some work planned today. However, the game crashes. So I sank this morning and it doesn't work. So before I get to the work I was going to do today, I guess we're going to start by doing some random debugging. This just happened, like just now. I probably should have prepared. Okay. Can I go away? What is going on here? Apparently, the game can't be in the foreground. Give me 1 second. It's only the second stream. We're still figuring this out. No, Michelle, I will not entertain you. You can come in here. No, don't do that. Just stay out there. So something is crashing in the editor. Maybe Arn. Maybe I should send him a text. Let's see if this works now. Okay, cool. So apparently the Lumote editor is null. Oh, this is actually probably very easy for us to fix. But why is it happening? So if it's a ship build, no, we don't want the Lumote game system. If it's an editor build, we want to create you. Hello, Das Box. Welcome to the Gong Show. Okay, so we get an editor. Oh. Editor windows. Okay, so in our system, if a game, we have like worlds. So when you're editing, you're in the editor world, and then when you run the game, we like basically we unload all the levels and everything, and then we create a new world for the game. That has like doesn't have all the editor tools and stuff in it. I don't know why this is happening now, but basically the game editor doesn't exist. So I guess we'll just Lumote game editor. No, return. That's safe, right? Yeah. I guess ARM, this must have something to do with we were submitting a build for Indie Mega Booth again. We're hoping to go to PAX again through Indie Mega Booth. And we made some changes to the way our build pipeline, really we just run the game. It's kind of ridiculous. Like not just the editor, but we have to start the game in order to build all the content that we send, that we put on Steam. So this change must cause that. Cool. Oh yeah, look, Luma objects and the Loxel editor just don't get created in that world. Loxels are our voxels. They're Lumote voxels. Loxels. Thanks for the host, Assbox. Okay, cool. Let's just check that in. Oh, I have a bunch of things here. Right. I updated the website this morning too. Remote game system. Oh, right. Need that. Game windows. That's the change I just made. Okay. For those of you wondering why we use Perforce instead of Git, we're old. Actually, you can't store piles of binary content in Git without it like blowing up. Perforce, it's like you run one little server and you get everything. So, but we're only using the free version. We don't pay for it. Game windows. Okay. Cool. So I made this little to-do list. These are the things I want to do today. So Lumote is a puzzle game. Michelle has made, I don't know, we've got like probably 30 puzzles right now. There's more to come. After you've completed one, you might want to go back and replay it. We're hoping to have like a timing system in there so that we can like, you know, give you your best times and that kind of stuff. How many steps it took you, whatever set of metrics we think people will find interesting. In addition to that, though, after doing this most recent demo build, we have enough puzzles now that it actually takes a really long time to have to play through the whole game every time. So like if you want to test something and you have to play through you know, 30 levels to test the 31st level. It's like a really, really long time. Because we want to be able to test them in the context of the whole game, not just each level in isolation. So today I want to get this puzzle list so that we can actually choose a specific puzzle and load it and play it in the whole world. Ideally without having to maintain a list of all those puzzles by hand. We've got all kinds of information, so like a big data graph thing about all the puzzles. So hopefully we can figure out how to create a list that's in the right order from that. And then we want to be able to save some state, like your best playtime for that level, without making it destructive to the rest of your current main game progress. So like if you're playing through the game and you're like near the end and you want to show somebody, oh, I really like this puzzle at the beginning, well, we want you to be able to go back and just show that puzzle, share secrets on how to solve them, or speed runs, or whatever exploits that we've missed is that allow you to shortcut through things. We'll see. And then I had 2 stretch things I want to try and get done today. This is like asking a lot out of a day, but we want to be able to preview the levels, but instead of previewing them with just like little thumbnails, probably also do thumbnails eventually, but I want to have the camera kind of move over and show you just like a little orbit of each puzzle, so you can just see like a bird's eye view of it, and the camera is kind of spinning around it, and you get to see the whole world from those different perspectives too, which might be kind of cool. And then the last thing being track the current time, show you the current time, and if you beat your record for the fastest playthrough, you know, whatever, we splash up some text and like give you a little reward chime and all that kind of stuff. So those are 2 things maybe we'll get to today. If we don't, I'll do another stream to cover those, because I think they'll be pretty fun to see go in. Yeah, okay, so we'll get going here. So much nice code I don't understand. Yeah, it's all very well formatted. That's Arn's coding style. It does help when you've written something a really long time ago, having it all like nicely lined up in columns. I still argue with him over the spacing though. All right, so the game looks like this right now when we go in. I've previously kind of set up this menu, so there's like a debug screen, or not a debug screen, but just like a placeholder for how I intended this thing to actually work. So I already have a little bit of stuff there. I'm just waiting for the game to build some content. Here we go. So replay puzzle. So right now this is kind of what you get. So obviously none of this information is actually being tracked. We don't know how long it took. This is just some placeholder text. Puzzle name. Yeah, probably have to do some other things too. Yeah, I don't know. If anybody has any other interesting metrics they'd like to see besides just how long it took and number of times you died, let me know. So I guess the first thing is really we just need to make this list work. We construct all of the levels using this, or we don't build all the levels, but we assemble this big world here. This is like the whole game so far. So what we submitted for our demo was basically like it starts with this whole kind of section here. All these 3 big upper columns are all of the puzzles that are or the connectivity between all the puzzles that are playable. And then, yeah, as you get further down, so like the gray stuff up, frame rate drop. The gray stuff up here is everything that's currently playable, really accessible. Then you kind of work through the hub here, and then all these yellow puzzles are the ones that Michelle's currently working through. And we'll start like decorating them and putting this kind of like underhanging rock stuff or whatever. The yellow is also like a different sort of skin. So up here, you know, everything's got this kind of like weird sandstone-y sort of look. As you get deeper, the next layer down is we get into sort of like basalt kind of more angular structures. Yeah, in a different color palette, we'll introduce like up here it's like, you know, we're getting these kinds of blues and things like that, and then when we get deeper it'll get purple. This is kind of a tangent from what we're actually going to work on, but yeah. The way the world is constructed, though, is using this world assembler. So this little graph here represents each of the major sections of the game. So there's like World 1, Region 1, Region 2, Region 3, and then there's World 2, Region 1, Region 2, Region 3. You know, same thing for World 3. So there's 3 worlds, 3 regions per, well, there isn't really 3 regions in the last world. There's just like 4 super hard, cool puzzles. But so each of these graphs refers to another graph. So in this case, like World 1, R1 refers to this World 1, R1 level section. So it takes a little while to load these things because we have to build a bunch of stuff in the background. The first time, actually, after I kind of click through things, it'll speed up. So this is just one little section, the very, very first region of the game. You like literally start right here. This is where the game starts. So in it, you can see there's like a chain. It's just like a straight line. These are just the levels. So like the game is actually linear, despite what that other graph might have looked like. It's just kind of, you're going from puzzle to puzzle to puzzle. But they kind of overlap and certain rooms kind of intersect. So that's why it looks a little bit crazier. So what I'm hoping is that I can basically take this information combined with everything in the full graph and, you know, so that just long line of levels is contained within this. I'm hoping I can basically just merge all of these and sort of come up with a consistent way to reason in code how to make just one big long list without too much crazy hackery. So we'll see. I do know that these outputs are all in order, but I don't really know where this one connects back in. So we might have to do something with maybe naming convention. That's what Arn was suggesting yesterday. Maybe that is just the best way to do it. Basically, if I could do the region 1, region 2, region 3, and then in each of those everything is linear, then everything just kind of works. And then I can just have some special, the hub could basically just come right at the top, because you're not going to want to actually load into it. There's nothing to solve in there. It's just sort of like a cinematic moment sort of section. It's just like an overworld area. Okay. Sure. Let's do that. Start node. is this? This is also a room. Okay, well, I guess we'll construct this from the main world graph. It'll make, if you stare at it long enough, it makes sense, DasBox. Where am I going here? So I need the game window, so we're already here. So level puzzle clock, replay map screen. Okay. Just kind of gathering my thoughts on how to chew through this stuff. I need to get the main world. You know what? I'm actually going to move all this into a new file. This thing's going to get pretty big. Oh, data. So this will be HPP. Also rename this replay map screen to just replay puzzles. Okay, so I just need to make this thing build. No, Lumote UI main windows. part is a little bit annoying. We have like a custom C++ reflection tool, so we can like know things about our data without having to actually write anything else. But we unfortunately have to add the same file twice to these build files. Maybe in the future we can look at reconfiguring fast build so we can get rid of some of this stuff, but it's not the end of the world. Game checkpoint this screen. What's wrong with me? I tend to like create and add new files in Sublime because Visual Studio. Hey Kim Chica, I am working on some like a puzzle reload screen. So basically, once you're getting halfway through the game, if you want to go back and play something, or you want to like get a better time for a speed run, you can go back and just play through a specific puzzle. Yeah. So I'm just kind of doing some coding today. Thanks for coming by. Yeah. At this very moment, though, I'm compiling. It's exciting, just watching text scroll. All right, well, I don't have to like waste my time waiting for that. Oh, the thing I was saying about Sublime is basically Visual Studio sucks for adding new files unless you're using Visual Studio projects, and we don't. We use an nmake project. I guess it's a Visual Studio project, but it's not like the Microsoft fully compatible stuff. It's really just their workaround for custom build systems. I'm hoping we'll show at PAX West again. We just submitted for the Indie Mega booth again. We were hoping to be done by the time by February, if you remember. So yeah, we'll see. Yeah, it's hard to know when you submit to those things. So they might just look at our submission and go, these guys said they were done last year, and then we didn't finish. And then they're just like, nope, sorry. Yeah, I think we'll come down. Michelle said she wanted to come down for at least one day so that we could, yeah, meet up with people we met last year and, you know, whatever. Just check it out. Yeah, it's totally the way of the indie dev. Okay. So now I've totally lost my train of thought. we are working on replay. Okay, so from this replay system, we have to do a bunch of things. First, we need to figure out which levels we're loading, or to be able to load. World. So this thing called the world assembler. I have no idea where it is now. Environment. Guess that makes sense. So long since I made anything with this UE system. Lumote game system is where we're going. Boilerplate of setting up a new system. Okay, so from the world assembler. We get a world assembler component. Really? A list of those two? Man, what are we doing? Does anybody ever get anything but the first one of these? Oh, people do. And by people, I mean me. Select world assembler editor window. Right. I wonder why I did that. That must have been because we were like trying to merge them together or something. Oh, hey Jacob, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. I still haven't checked out Headliner yet. I'm sorry. We've been, well, literally sweating away since we met you. It's a lot of work doing this stuff. We should just go back to AAA. You get paid. Hours might be worse, I guess. Michelle and I took Wednesday off and went rock climbing after we submitted our build, so don't get to do that when you're grinding on a AAA game. Yeah, we have Kimchiko. We have Michelle's worked on so many new puzzles. I think we should maybe hook up and get you a build soon. I tried to log into Indie Boost again, but I don't know. I think my account got deleted or something. Nice. Switch port. Cool. Yeah, we just got a Switch dev kit a couple weeks ago. I have not started on that though. We're going to get this PC build out like you guys, and then we're going to get the Switch going. We're going to go on a road trip out to Ontario. I think I'm going to spend the prairie provinces just typing because it's just flat. Oh, cool. Rose City Games. I haven't heard of those guys. Have to check that out. Yeah, the travel work thing was always the plan with this whole indie gig, but it's very difficult to if you start something when you're stationary, it's difficult to become non-stationary in the middle of it. Let's get going on this. Oh, congrats on the house too there, Kimchika. I did watch a bunch of your streams while you were going through the craziness, but was just kind of silently lurking. Nice. You shouldn't give out those kinds of trade secrets, though. I'd much prefer to just have a bunch of crappy asset flips on Steam, and then, you know, highlights like your game just like show up, right? Like headliners just like blam, there it is. It doesn't look like it's got a bunch of assets in it, but that's because you've actually got talent. All right, I gotta look away for a little bit. You guys are getting all distracted. Too many friends here. But don't leave. I'm happy you're here. We're just going to assume the first one is the one I want, because in all reasonable cases, that's all we're ever using. You know what? We build a list of all the levels already. I wonder how properly in order this is. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Oh. So Michelle just told me to explain what I'm doing in a text because I'm just silently typing away here. Okay, so thank you. She's like sitting in the room behind me. Basically, I'm trying to figure out whether or not I have a list of levels that I already... In order to construct the world, we already have some... We obviously have to have a list of all the levels that we're going to place anyway, or spawn. So from that list, I'm just trying to figure out, first, if they're in order, and, you know, second, if I can sort of get enough information about them, you know, like we need to have like the title of the puzzle and all that sort of stuff. And kind of just getting my oh, I've got the game running so I can show what it looks like right now. I just have these kind of like blank cards. So I'm just trying to get information from the puzzle data that we've already got to fill out these blank cards. So even if the puzzles aren't in order, at least the menu, you know, it's got the puzzles there. And we can start with that. Yeah, we've worked on the game quite a bit since since we last showed it to you guys. Here, I'll run the main world. So we've been like adding particles and like doing all this other kind of fancy stuff, different kind of skybox, and improved performance a whole lot. Streaming the development has been pretty good. It's I mean, this is only the second stream, but yeah, it's fun. You know, like when you're programming, sometimes it's difficult to talk along with your thoughts. I'm not usually a vocal programmer. Like Michelle and Arn, they swear and like get all manner of crazy vocal while they're working, but I'm pretty quiet unless I'm about to be disruptive. So like after I've finished something and like I need to gather my thoughts, then I'll disrupt everybody and start talking about usually unrelated topics or things that are easy to distract everyone else with. And then I just immediately go back to working, and now they need to go get back into their flow, and I just disregard it. So I need to work on that, I guess. Other than that, I mean, because this is only the second stream, we've only got, you know, haven't really had a lot of viewership. So it's hard to know, you know, starting anything new, and basically your only metric is how many, it's just numbers, right? It's like how many people are watching your stream right now, and how many people are how many people are on your wish list now? Did that translate into wish lists and all this sort of like crazy indie struggle stuff? So, but it's fun. I mean, I get really excited and enjoy talking about the technical stuff when there's like at sort of like a break. I can get a little bit crazy. So yeah, this is kind of like where we're at right now, though. It's, you know, a lot more little animations and stuff. Still need to work through some things. Have you added a command to wishlist? I have not done that in the chat. I did not know you could do that. But yeah. Oh, that's actually a great one. Thanks, Kimchika. I'll check that out. Now I'm just playing. I have a lot of fun running around. It's like... Oh, like something super random that I just worked on yesterday. Now that we're here and I'm talking. So we've been trying to record video, and it's been really difficult. Like recording in OBS kind of sucks. I think I need to do like a blog post on this. Oh, my laptop's falling over. So it kind of sucks when you're trying to capture with OBS, because if your frame rate's low, or you get frame spikes, things kind of suck. So we have our own internal game capture, which can frame lock the game. So it means when the frame rate drops, it runs in slow motion. The problem with that is it makes it difficult to play. So what I did yesterday is I added this like input capture thing. So rather than having to capture the game, because it takes a long time sometimes to like choreograph like the perfect playthrough to put in your trailer or put in like a thing. So now what we can do is we can actually just record those as input and then perfect the playthrough, and then if something goes wrong with the recording, we can go back and re-record it or find a faster machine to record it on or whatever. So I'm just gonna show this random thing. It still runs in kind of slow motion sometimes. It really depends on what we're doing. But it's like way better than having like the perfect video capture, and then when you get it out, you realize like, oh, my audio is screwed up, or oh, this one particle spawned like right in front of the camera, and you don't really notice it when you're playing, but when you're watching like a video you're going to share with like the world, it's the worst possible thing ever. So I'm just kind of solving this puzzle, and then I'll just show you. I can actually like play it back without touching the controller, just like right in the game. It's kind of slick. I was like very excited that this just worked. Oh, I killed that dude. It's like running in slow motion right now because I'm doing the streaming. We've got a bunch of other stuff going on, but just like on a normal ideal condition recording, we can actually get like pretty much 60 doing these captures. Obviously we'll optimize the game. We want it to run at 60 on the Switch and everything. So cool. So I just solved this puzzle. So now if I stop my recording here, I'll save this, and then I can restart at the checkpoint and play it. So like, look, I'm not moving the controller, but Lumote's just running around doing stuff, and it's stable every time. Oh, cool. Thanks. I will check out the Streamlab stuff. I keep seeing things about it, but I haven't spent enough time looking at it. I'm always like sketched out by other projects, because sometimes it's like, oh, it's open source, but we've got these paid things, and we lock you out of all the stuff that's like really like all the good sauce. Yeah, compression in trailers is a nightmare too, especially when you've got like a high contrast game. We have the worst possible case. We have like super soft glows and really high contrast stuff going on. So, oh, and a lot of like warm like reds and pinks, which the video compressors, they favor in a way that makes everything in our game that's actually pink red. There you go. Lumote solved a puzzle without me even having to touch the stick. So I was pretty happy that all that just worked yesterday. I try to put on my business hat and evaluate, is it worth spending a whole week on this thing? Yeah, it's true. Sometimes we probably go a little bit overboard. in order to get the audio captured, I was part of this whole frame locking thing is we use WYs, and I create like an output stream of all of the WYs events. So like every piece of information we send to WYs, I capture it as like a big stream, frame locked as well. So then I can go back and like re-render the WY stuff perfectly lockstep at 60 FPS. So our trailers are supposed to be like super buttery smooth. It's just something that I hate when I see indie games and it's like things are like jittering across the screen. It's just a nightmare for me. So yeah, in-game recording, yeah, we could do it for GIFs. It was certainly the input capture stuff we were going to use to help us with debugging, because we can just, at the start of every checkpoint, we can record an input capture, and then when you die, we can start a new one, or whatever. So we can like capture a lot of interesting bugs like that. The video capture part on its own, I'm not sure. It could be interesting to do. I don't know if our game is like it's not really emergent. I'm not sure how much value there would be in it. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. I have to think about that. It would be cool if we could do it. Yeah. If we could do it using the combination of things that we're looking at here. So if it was input capture and then we did video capture after, because then we could guarantee that we could actually like always basically render these little clips at the highest possible quality. Again, this is like the business hat versus art. Like the artist wants it to just look the best possible, but maybe it doesn't matter. Yeah. Who knows? We're looking for like a marketing company to maybe partner with to help us. We have like a little bit of government money. We got like a grant last year. So it's something I actually need to send out a bunch of emails. The Indie Mega booth, there was like a big chain. I asked and everybody kind of threw back some interesting companies that sounded like they might be pretty good. So yeah, we can do cinematic mode. Yeah, I wonder if those like kind of screenshot modes like that you're seeing in a lot of games now might be interesting. Maybe people would be into that. I guess the thing is, it's essentially for screenshots and GIFs. Like if it's fairly low effort and the result is always better than remembering to like, oh, I needed to press F11 or whatever to take a screenshot of any game in Steam. It's just like one consistent thing. That would actually be a cool Unity plugin. It's just like a module that takes care of this type of feature work. Or you could like, yeah. I mean, we're not using Unity, but I'm always thinking about like Unity plugins that I could expand the business into not just this game. Yeah, we can make a better one. Okay. So back to this puzzle card thing. World assembler. Undefined use of Lumote game system. Sure it doesn't. All right, so we should be able to get, so our like levels, because they all come from this big graph thing, they're all kind of like templated, so we can actually spawn the same level multiple times. So Michelle uses that right now to create some sort of like intermediate platforming things. So each level component actually has like it's kind of like prefabs, but for levels, where we can go back to like the original template, and then from that template we can get the original file that template lives in, and then we can, I'm just going to use that as the name. This will just be the name of the file for now until we get some like localized text for the puzzle names or something. Get first owned object, first object owner. World section, not level section. I'm going to spell that with a T in the right place. Oh, I don't actually care about this. What I want is in our bundle. Bundles are our files. So like you can have an asset, like a bundle that contains like multiple assets, kind of like you can like sort of do the same thing in Unity where you just set the asset file, I think they call it. We in our system you can sort of do the same thing, but it's like a little less rigid. We just have an object that called the bundle that we just stick stuff on, but it doesn't really, it's like a virtual file. It doesn't really necessarily represent a file on disk. We can save any object to disk in the same way. The bundle just provides like a container for some extra metadata, like being able to get the file name. So add text, puzzle name. Alrighty. Look at that, node start, intro, blue worms. Hey, oh, I should actually add a thing here. We should make this menu scroll too. To do stretch goal for today. Scrolling. All right, well, I mean, I guess that kind of just worked, right? Sweet. But how do I load? So if I'm like working through these puzzles now and I decide I want to go and play one. Scrolling with controller. don't just want to load that level. I've got to load. I've actually just got to change the. Yeah, this is where it gets sketchy. So I just want to be able to change the level. So I need to activate a checkpoint. Oh, this is like a whole other mode, isn't it? Because I'm playing this puzzle, and if I restart at checkpoint, I want to play the puzzle. And then if I want to go back and continue my regular game, I kind of need to quit. Oh, sorry, it got hidden behind my thing, behind Discord. I'm going to stream. How long is appropriate to stream? Because I was just kind of gonna stream my workday. So yeah, I don't know, probably until 6 our time. I'll probably stream for another 4 hours. So I'll be around. Yeah. It's just me sitting here typing away. It's really the same thing, just with more noise coming out of my face, right? So yeah, you guys are welcome to like come back and say hi again. It's all good. I think I'm going to need to eat in about half an hour, so I'll probably take a little break. The hungers are happening. But yeah, and then I'll be on till about 6. Awesome. Thanks, Kubazar. I don't know how to pronounce that. Kubazar? Is that right? Kubazar? Names are hilarious on the internet. Cool. Kubazar. I don't have to say it weird the way I did the first time then. Cool. Well, yeah. Enjoy your cafe migration. It's super hot here, so if it's hot there, you should get something cold. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna jump to a different level. What does that mean? Jacob. Okay, that's way easier. I will. That's. Thank you. Oh, Kubasar. I got it. Yeah, mine's Kylol because people were calling me Kylol when I was like 13. It was like yeah, I don't know. It was a type of, like, instead of writing LOL, they would always write LAWL. I don't know. And so then they just started calling me Kylol. Stupid internet idiot kids. Yeah. Oh yeah. Lawyer would have been awesome. No. And I could have been like the video game lawyer. Kimchika likes kimchi. I'm always big on the kimchi, the kimchi daikon, because I love it when it's like all fizzy, like it's a kind of effervescent. That's my jam. Okay, so if we do this, we have menu. Cilantro kimchi. Like, it's just cilantro, or is it like cilantro in the kimchi? Because like cilantro is not, there's not a lot there, right? And once it's like all fermenty, isn't it just like kind of hot, soggy cilantro? I don't think I had kimchi until I met Michelle. Oh, I see. It's not like super fermenty, leave it in the ground in a clay pot kind of kimchi. It's like a fresh kimchi. That makes way more sense. I've only been to LA once, and I stayed in a hotel next to the Chinese theater. It was like for a Sony Dev conference thing, so I didn't really like LA, but I'm sure if I talk to the right people, it's probably a lot better than the like sketchy experience that I got. And I definitely love Korean food. LA is a lot of things, yeah. Like, I had a great time, but it was a little bit bizarro land outside of the conference. Although Sony did take us to the Harry Potter thing at Universal Studios, and we had like an open bar late at night. It was like super cool having like private access to it. I've got to say one thing about like my visits to the US is whenever I go to like a dive bar, I love them. There's like Christmas lights. Every time I go to a dive bar, there's Christmas lights everywhere. I fucking love that. The bizarro part, I don't know. I guess it was just like there wasn't really anyone on the street, and all of the things we saw, it was probably just the area we were in. It was really, really kind of a ghost town, and I don't know, it was just kind of a weird vibe. I don't really know how to describe it. I have to think about that one. Yeah, I guess it just didn't feel like for being such like a large populated city, it just didn't, there wasn't very many people around. Yeah, a lot of driving. Oh, actually, I have a weird story. This was at the end of the trip. So I needed a shirt for my last day because I didn't want to be a stinky nerd. And so I went to there was like a guest store in this like kind of open air mall thing next to the Chinese theater. And there was a dude in there, and whatever, he was just like giving me a hand. I tried on a couple different shirts, and it's like a perfectly normal exchange you would have with somebody helping you in a retail store. And then when I was leaving, he said, "Oh, you're not from here, are you?" And I said, "No, why?" He's like, "Well, you're just really nice. You know, most people who come in here aren't nice like that." And I was just like, literally all I did was say hi, smile, say thank you, and pay for a shirt. So that was kind of an interesting exit. That was on my like the last day before we flew out, and it was like yeah, kind of a maybe that left a big impression on me. Because it was just like, really? Like, how mean can people possibly be to you? Like, you're just like a human being doing something like perfectly normal. I don't know. It was very strange. Oh, really? Yeah, we actually had a similar experience in San Francisco for GDC one year. We were eating at this restaurant, and then we were gonna walk to this club, and we were telling the cab driver about it because we didn't know how far it was, and he's like, "Oh no, you do not want to like walk here. Like people just get killed walking down the street all the time." And I was like, "But we're at like a really fancy restaurant, like just 2 doors down." And he's like, "Yeah, it's just like how it is." It's kind of bizarre. I did not go to GDC this year. No, we no. It's really expensive, especially with the exchange rate now. Like it's 30% more to go to, yeah. So as Michelle and I both not working right now, trying to wrap up Lumote, it's actually quite difficult to afford to get down there. Yeah, it's a crazy homeless problem. I feel like, I don't know, it's a bit strange. Like it doesn't seem the last few years, because I've gone to GDC I think 3 times, and each time it seems like it's gotten a little bit worse, but I don't understand. Yeah, it's probably similar to Vancouver. We have a very similar problem. Probably not on the scale of San Francisco because we're nowhere near the size, but a lot of it, I suspect, has to do with just redevelopment, right? So as like in Vancouver, as they're redeveloping areas, it's like sort of pushing people out. They're having to go to different zones. Gentrification. Spooky. Yeah. I should get my glasses. I feel like I'm squinting really hard to read all of this. The thing, yeah, I mean, the thing with gentrifying neighborhoods is like, it's really unfortunate that if you have people that are living in those neighborhoods, like living in buildings, not living on the street, then it's really unfortunate that they're being displaced. But if you have areas of your city that are basically condemned, like you have to do some redevelopment there, right? Like you can't just leave parts of your city in shambles. I think it's like that's like an entirely different social problem. You're just like you're allowing a slum then, right? Like you need, yeah, I don't know. It's too dark. Look at this, pretty colors. Yeah, I actually think I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go grab some food. Hopefully I'll see you on a little bit later. Jacob? Kim Chica. Thanks for stopping by too. I'll be back in a little bit if you hang around. Otherwise, whatever. I'll see you soon. That's not the right thing. I'm gonna do one of these. Oh, it doesn't want to come up. Oh god, I'm starting to panic. Hello. I am nourished. So, while we were gone, Michelle got an email from Indie Mega Booth that our build crashes, at least on this one person. Hi, Kim Chica. The game crashes on at least this one person's machine, but only if they use a controller. If they use the keyboard, it's fine. So that's unfortunate because the keyboard is basically a terrible experience in Lumo right now. Yay! Nothing like a good lurker. Did you make that one? That one's pretty cute. Yeah, basically Indie Mega Booth this one person can't play the game. So I'm not really sure what's going on with that right now. Michelle's gonna like test a couple things, and if she can reproduce it on her laptop, then we'll try and it's my friend's emote. Yeah, it's super wicked. If Michelle can reproduce it, then maybe we'll try and debug that, and we'll completely switch context today. Today's going to be debug day, maybe. But I don't know yet. I'm going to stick with what I'm doing right now. And we'll see where it goes. Yeah. So, we've got a menu. And it's got things in it. This purple box is really ugly. Oh, no, not you. I'm alt-tabbing all the wrong things. Need you. Let's make this purple box like divided by 4. So it's just a 25% purple box. And we should do something really meaningful, which is actually set up the, oh look, isn't that nicer? Okay, so when we need to load a map. This is what we're doing. Well, we actually need to activate a checkpoint at a different map than the one we're in. This is going to be a super bizarre function. Okay, so in the level component, so there's like the level component, and then in that level component, or that level component is attached to an entity, and then that entity as a whole. Why am I using hand signals? I can just show you. So the level component, so let's just say like this level that we're in here, red worm down bat. It's got this Lumote level. And then in that Lumote level, so that's the component right there, the Lumote level component. That Lumote level component is on this entity, and then this entity has a bunch of children in it. One of those descendants, not even a direct child, we're talking like a grandchild here, is this checkpoint.start. So big picture mode did not crash. Did it not crash and not crash the game? Or just big picture mode didn't crash? Did the game ran fine? Well, crap. Yeah. I mean, I was thinking maybe this was related to the input thing that I just added. But that in no way cares if it's a controller or not. I wonder, so if I were somebody from the Indie Mega Booth testing different games, I may have, what, 4 controllers plugged in? Even 2? Lots of like indie party games, right? I wonder if I need to plug in another controller. I'm going to plug in another controller. I'll be back. No. You could ask them to try and unplug any other controllers they've got. Okay, so basically we have our engine supports or we can support up to 4 controllers, but those controllers can be any combination of Xbox and PlayStation, Xbox 360, Xbox One, obviously not original Xbox, Xbox One controllers, and PlayStation 4 controllers. So those 3 kinds of controllers we just support. Here's a PlayStation controller, Xbox controller. But we've never really tested the game. I guess my thinking is, if you were at the Indie Mega Booth, I might actually need 4 Xbox controllers to even test this. But it's entirely possible that, like, when it's just like moving, like I just plugged 2 in. Does the game still run? Like, Lumote works. Okay, I'm gonna have to do this in a ship build. We'll have to go to the same build that they use. Or close enough to. I'm gonna shelve the files I've got now so that I don't lose my work here. this part doesn't change. When you're like, yeah, everything, sure, everything's errors now. It's errors all the way down. This part of game dev doesn't change whether you're doing AAA or indie dev. Everything is always a mess. Nothing ever works right when you need it to. Is that Camel IK? How do you even... I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that. Hi. Thanks for making it this time. What happened to your cute icon? You usually have a cute little icon. You're just a snowflake today. Are you cold? Camel K. Gotcha. See, like in my mind, I see Kame IK, like inverse kinematics, which is like what we use to like pose joints. So when you're like doing this kind of thing and to characters, we use IK to do that. Kame IK. I won't call you that. I'll call you Camel K. So we were going to do one thing, which is implement this menu thing. But turns out our Indie Mega Booth submission doesn't work. Well, it doesn't work without a keyboard. The controller just crashes. So we're going to, without any knowledge, try and arbitrarily, basically we're just gonna like we're just gonna like throw some ideas at a wall and see if anything causes the game to crash. And right now my lead is, if you're playing Indie Mega Booth games or judging Indie Mega Booth games, you probably have at least 4 controllers plugged in. I've got 2 Xbox One controllers and a PlayStation controller, which I need a cable for. Cable. And I need another USB port. Oh no. I'm just gonna move this webcam. It might fall off my monitor. So ghetto. Just a rat's nest of cables back there. The weather is very nice outside. That's why we went climbing on Wednesday. Actually, it was so hot. Michelle was pretty much dying by the time we got to the top. Okay, three controllers. 3, not 6. This is so annoying. Now my monitor's crooked. Great. Yeah, you like that? I literally made that this morning. Yeah, I don't know. I just like Normally I don't have to use both, but I'm using the laptop right now to look at the stream at the chat, so I was getting really sick or I realized after the one stream last week that I really needed something, so I fashioned this. It's Gorilla Tape, not duct tape though, so it's like at least $3 more than the duct tape version. Oh, apparently my recompile failed too. Oh, I guess this shell nonsense kind of went sideways too, didn't it? Oh yeah, in this file, sure. So, if we assume that it's something to do with controllers, number of controllers. I added that input thing too that I was showing earlier. Like that, you know, that's the kind of thing you're like, oh, I just changed something. Maybe it's now causing this problem. But I can't repro it? That's stupid. I'm getting messages. Look at chat. We got a response. Windows 10 64-bit. One controller. Well, that was a lot of work for nothing. All right. Well, we can download our Steam build. Was that this one or was that Steam? Oh no, that was my Visual Studio one. Okay. I actually had this multi-controller problem happen to me once. We were doing a game jam, and there were 3 people on our team, and we were making like this party game. And basically, we the 3 of us, we played it, and we had a blast, and it was great. And we submitted it, and it was out. It was sort of like a game jam at work. And when we went to like show it to everybody, but I doubt that's I'm just going on a tangent now. Okay, just let me ramble. So basically, if you plugged in a 4th controller, the game would crash, or it wouldn't crash, it just wouldn't work. Like nothing. So the game would like count down and start, but then nothing would run. And I thought, and it just never worked out. So everybody, we were so psyched to like show it off, and it looked so great, but every time we went to play it, it just wouldn't work. We could not figure out why, and it wasn't until after everybody had already shown their games and everything, and people were going home, that I figured it out, that it was like, oh, 4 controllers causes this to fail. But it's not controllers. Today is not controllers. Well, I was using a PlayStation controller, so let's try an Xbox controller. Was I using a PlayStation? I don't even know what I was using anymore. Let's just try this again. From Steam. Okay, so we have the rubber duck is, we've got Indie Mega Booth build on Steam. I'm going to turn the volume down. Which, for this judge, crashes when they use the controller, but not when they use their keyboard. Unfortunately, they're using the exact same configuration as our test machines, Windows 10, 64-bit. And then so something is no worky. But this works. Yeah, Windows patch is something I was thinking too. System. Michelle, could you ask them what Windows version they're using? Yeah, do I have that? I think I grabbed that big patch. Why did you go to Reddit? Everything's new. Oh, it was May. Yeah, it was even more recent. 1903. I do not have. Ooh. Am I going to do a Windows update on stream to debug the game? Is it safe to assume they've done that Windows update? Yeah, could you ask them if they're on 1903, Michelle, please? Sandbox for professional users. I should look at all the stuff in this, shouldn't I? Oh, it's not an auto patch. Yeah, but maybe they're just eager. That is the one thing that sucks now with Windows 10. I mean, it's cool, but it also sucks is DirectX, which is used to be separate, is now just included as part of Windows. So like when you get a Windows update, you just get the latest DirectX, which is where the controller driver comes from. So if they've done something to the way the controller works, which given that they do all kinds of crazy stuff, like so many new Windows 10 UI things support the controller now. This thing is still super loud. I mean, we've been running Windows 10 through most revisions over the last like 2 year. Yeah, that is a good one though. What's my laptop here on? Maybe my laptop's latest. It's also 1809. Shit. All right, well, I'm actually just going to update my laptop. there's no point in sitting here waiting, watching. Really, I would have to shut the stream down to do a reboot anyway. So I'm just going to move on to the other stuff while I wait for it to reboot. Maybe if I can reproduce it there, then we can switch back over. Sorry, Kim Chica, you're not going to get to see this solved live right now. But maybe later today. Maybe we'll be up all night doing this bullshit. I guess I'll stick to playing with an Xbox controller at least. Just so that if something does happen. Yeah, we're all on 1809. I'm doing the update now. In fact, there's an 1809 cumulative update. Oh yeah, if you could do it too, that would be good. Because then we can have two machines that... Because your machine's been acting flaky too, so maybe we'll get it there. This is the stuff that sucks about working on PC games. It's very rare to have this type of behavior on console. Well, not... Certainly you could have your game crash because of input, but if it works on one console, it generally works on all of them. Yeah. All right, well, let's do it. Thanks, Camel K. Camille K. Chameleon. Right, Camille K. Yeah, it's internet names are just funny. Like how you inherit them too. Or come up with them when, we were just talking about this earlier, come up with them, get them when you were a kid or something. They just stick around. Oh shit. Sorry, laptop keeps falling over on my ghetto college stand. I'm gonna have to budget for one out of our Lumote fund. All right, this is not gonna work anymore. Survived for a couple hours. It's better than nothing, I guess. All right, where was I with this again? We've got a puzzle card. So the puzzle card, when you click on it, what we want to do is we want to find the checkpoint. So from this entity, this entity is like the root of the whole level. We can actually just get first descendant of type checkpoint component. Isn't that nice? $18.09. Well, I'm actually not doing the new update. There's like a whole cumulative update that for 1809 that I'm doing. I guess this one's quite out of date. So I'm just gonna update to those what I assume are just hot fixes. upgrades me all the way to the newest one. That'll be annoying, but we'll do that restart now. It's a Mac, but it's running Windows. That was actually fast. Oh, wrong pipe. Sorry. All right, so laptop says my personal Steam account has 2,678 hours of Lumote played. Last played today. Sorry, just give me a second here, guys. I should plug one of these controllers in. Ugh, doesn't crash. All right, well, I'm not going to waste any more time on that right now. We'll just have to suffer through it and hope some of the other judges, excuse me, can play, or maybe I'll try and track it down later. That's annoying. So, in order to jump to a different checkpoint, we have to activate it and then queue for respawn. I guess this is kind of equivalent to just restarting from a checkpoint, but we just select a different checkpoint. Checkpoint. Well, how does the menu reload a checkpoint? Windows. Queue a map reload. Is there a special function for that? Oh, with new game. Last valid level, right? Okay. So this is kind of just like another argument over this, I guess. We'll just keep a level reload. So basically, we can queue a level reload as a new game, or we can queue a level reload with a level component. Sure. Seems okay enough. We can always refactor that later if this gets more complicated, but oh, there's probably like a whole game state thing that we were talking about before, but let's just make it work first. Current level, last level. I'm actually gonna have to walk through the whole flow of this. I actually have no idea how level reloading works. When you die or reload at a checkpoint, what actually happens? What do you need? Just say hi.
Hello.
Look, it's Michelle.
I'm gonna steal one of the Xbox controllers to see if I can get a crash.
Okay.
Hi! Okay, I'm gonna crash things now.
Okay. Good luck.
Okay.
She tried to like sneak in and like be all discreet, and then like, what's up? She's like looking for an Xbox controller, but obviously I just have them all here now, so then she has to come over, and then she's like trying to like reach to grab it without getting on camera. It's too late. Accept your fate. Totally. It was adorable. I've totally been derailed today by all this madness. Get back on track. Let's go. I suspect I have to probably set the current checkpoint. That seems to stand to reason. And then from there we can just reload the level with a different checkpoint. Maybe I should just try that instead of trying to go through and debug the whole thing. Oh. Let's try this. This is actually going to be funny. Basically, it's not really a map reload or a new game. I mean, it kind of is. Yeah, I'm going to have to make a whole new mode. If we do a new game, and then set the current checkpoint. That's going to that will erase your progress. But if it's a map reload, then the checkpoint that you load at is actually going to be exactly how it was when you left the room. So if you've solved the puzzle, like everything, all the pieces are going to be right where you left them. Let's see what happens. That's what I should have titled. That's what I'm going to title this video once I'm done and it gets archived. It'll just be Lumote Dev Live. Let's see what happens. Oh, you guys actually don't get to see this, but Arn made this like super cute little Lumote hopping for our load screen now. I guess I could just move me. I'll just move me. Oh, I need the chat too. Let's run that again. See, isn't that cute? Michelle can never use stealth very well. She definitely has a negative in the stealth. Usually it involves falling over. That's actually the funny thing about climbing. Like, Michelle is an extremely good climber. Like, vertically, very graceful. On land, like a panda. Just rolling around. Okay, replay level. So let's just choose one. Crash. Oh, better than nothing. Something happened. Why can't we do this? Oh, our new checkpoint was null. Oh. Null is easy to deal with, right? This file is not debuggable. It's because climbing is like a big puzzle. Yeah, it's true. It's totally true. Also, like, you know, climbing holds when your fingers are little are much bigger. So she's able to, like, and her feet are smaller, right? So like every hold is like twice the size for her than it is for me. It's like, oh, this is a crimp. No, it's like a jug for Michelle. Apparently there's some crack climbs like that. They've been graded by like larger dudes. They're like, oh yeah, this is like, you know, 512, and then some tiny little girl shows up and like sticks her little hands in it, and it's like this big fat crack, and she's like, what are you talking about? It's like a 510. Okay, let's do some debugging. We should go climbing sometime. You guys should come up, go to Squamish, do some climbs. You said you boulder? Yeah. Cool. There's like this climbing group that we climb with up here, and they're called the Pterodactyls. And it's basically just like a big group of nerds that love to climb. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. Everybody's like pretty diverse in their skills. So some people are really, really hardcore, and some people are pretty new, like Michelle and I. Yeah, it's like nice and safe. Well, safe is relative. It's nice having a group around that is safety conscious, I guess. I just don't understand why this is null. I guess I should go up a level here. So you're telling me this level? Oh. Right, well that level component wouldn't have that type of checkpoint. Because the hub doesn't have any checkpoints at all. Need to put like an error sound in. Yeah, V hot, nice. Yeah, we've been talking about going to Smith Rock. Michelle's brother went there after the big eclipse 2 summers ago. We haven't gone down yet. Maybe we could do something like later October, November. Could be fun. Michelle just did like a pretty epic elite climb in an area up here called Skaha that's really well known for sport climbing. It was like climb of the weekend according to everybody in our group. Yeah. Oh yeah, in our area, yeah, climbing is huge. Like Squamish is, I mean, it's not Yosemite Valley, but it's a very popular international destination for lots of outdoor sports. But definitely has some very popular climbing. And then because we've got like this is the Cascade Mountain Range. So there's lots of stuff kind of spattered about. Even there was a crag just right here locally in Vancouver, but it got shut down this week because there's an angry bear up there. It's pretty hilarious, actually. Actually, this is totally off topic, but Michelle just sent me a bunch of pictures. I'll show you a crazy picture from the climb we just did. Google Drive. What am I doing? Whatever. No, I can't find it. I'll find it later and send it to you. It's like you rappel down into this along this valley, or yeah, along the side of down the side of the valley, and then you climb this big arête all the way up, and it's just like there's this classic picture that everybody gets where you're climbing up the arête, and it's just like crazy rapids like flowing below you. It's pretty awesome picture. It looks a lot more crazy than it really is. It's a super easy climb. But it makes you look like a total badass. All right. So this start node can't be loaded. Oh, it didn't even crash. Okay, well, it was like a little bit slow, but that seems like maybe it's working. Oh no, it's not. Should probably start with a new game. Okay, replay. No. Why not? So set current checkpoint. Well, I guess we should just start there. Seems like it's always sending me to very strange. seems like it's just always picking the first level. It's kind of annoying. Level container. Oh, I actually don't even need to get the file name. We already named the levels correctly. Sort of a random aside though. That's like totally not the right level. I haven't used this stuff in a little while. The button returns if it's been selected or clicked. But I was using this select nav item. Not really. Oh, I see. Right. That should really be private. Read this. Should really just make those private, but we'll deal with that some other. Well, this will be the last time I ever have to do it, right? I don't think we had all this music in. We've got this like little lullaby thing in the pause menu now. It's kind of cute. Does that come through? Must. Oh, it's not super loud. Oh yeah, the game volume's quite low, eh? Is that better? I mean, the levels look better, but I don't know if it sounds better. No, don't shut that down. It's got like a little pop in it when it loops. Oh, great. Turning the volume up now, I'm finding bugs. breakpoint. Click. Oh, I see. If click or started working through some like generalized menu selection items, but I never finished it. So it works when you click it. Works when you click it, but not when you press A. There we go. Did we go to the right location? Okay. Thanks, Kimchika. Have a good weekend. Yeah, you too. So that I don't load, so that the menu pops out after, because it's just all screens. Oh, that's fine. That doesn't unpause the game. That just pops all the screens. So anywhere where we call that, do we also set? Oh, pause game and show menu. That's kind of a silly function. Still doesn't go to the right puzzle. Just wherever we last were. No, when queues spawn. So how this works is if the player, basically we just delete the player to reload, and then we find, so we delete the player and then we look for a new checkpoint to load the player at. And that checkpoint goes through this whole stack of different ways to find a checkpoint. Find a checkpoint that matches the checkpoint ID. Oh, I see. So the order in which the checkpoints are discovered is basically just... So we start from the most recently discovered checkpoint and then scan backwards to find one. So setting the current checkpoint actually does nothing in this case. And if we can't find one of those, this is just for test maps. Well, if I'm doing this, if we do it first just for our debugging purposes, then I only need to I should really just add a new checkpoint. We'll track with level that we're going. The most recent checkpoint will just be stored in the save game. can't find the checkpoint, then we'll just go back to the beginning. Discover checkpoints. Say game current checkpoint equals new checkpoint. The last valid checkpoint is loaded. Spawn player at frame. Okay, spawned. Oh. Semicolon. It's weird that that showed up 3 times. It's gonna work this time. You're gonna be able to load a level from anywhere. It should activate correctly. Oh. Still no go. Intro red worms. Owner. Intro red worm. Last valid level. This part actually does need to change, I guess, because we'll need to delete the last valid level. Basically the level you're in, as well as probably the one you're going to. how did we end up back at the start? But why did this one get queued for spawn? So the start node got queued for spawn. This is like getting erased in the save game. Zero 44 or 046. Yeah. Seven 177. So we delete the save. We set the check point, but then we delete the save game. Maybe I just don't need to load the save game. Oh, this is load save game event. Right, so. The click doesn't work. Oh, we queue a load save game. Right, because in this case, we actually were reloading the map. So if it's a map reload, then we want to clear all the save state. And if it's a level, and if it's a new game, then we just delete the save game entirely. Delete all the maps. I'll be back in just a minute. Alrighty. So. Okay, so when we're doing these level reloads, this whole flow, it's basically assuming you're just making progress, not jumping around between different levels. So now if we want to jump between levels, right, this is why I have that note about all the save game state being non-destructive. Because if we jump to a different level, we don't want to destroy your progress. And it's everything, all reloads are tied to progression. So if you load one of these, set the current checkpoint. Let's just save the save game. Commit world state false. So that would basically, that's going to modify the current checkpoint. Change what the current checkpoint is, but it won't flush any world state that's changed into the save game. Like if you move pieces around, and then it will queue a map reload. Yeah. So that will save your progress to where you are. Kind of. Close enough for now. I guess I'll just continue on this. Excuse me. Lots of breakpoints. Yay! Look at that. Checkpoints can actually, we can jump between different things. Oh, did I just pick the same one twice? Intro blue worm. I did. Okay. Cool. Extend worms. Sweet. Red worm down. Oh, tower. Cool. What does that do to all those puzzles? Let's do this from a new game and see. World up. Yeah, that shouldn't do anything. If we jump over here, so those ones. So what if we just go to like yeah, so we can see like we've loaded all of those, activated those ones, but obviously these two puzzles here we haven't solved and we haven't teleported to them. Okay. So that means really what we should do is actually, it's basically a new game. It's like a new game, but we changed the starting checkpoint. So then everything else would just be red. So you'd just be solving that one puzzle. And then when you walk through it, we would end the game. This one is behaving funny. Oh, right. So in this case, yeah, because we jumped there, there's no power coming back. We do a new game and then warped that level. Intro and gate. Intro and gate. Red. Yeah, so that one. Right. Yeah, so now the power's working for this puzzle. So it's actually a new game with an new game with an overridden level. I'm just gonna make this click work, and then I think I'm gonna wrap up the stream. I know I said I was gonna run till 6, but just need a break. Why is this not being clicked? Oh, I know what's going on there. Yeah. The item tag, the label is puzzle. Each label must be unique. Cool. So that's it. I'm not sure what's going on here, but that's much farther down in the game. We don't need to address this stuff right now. There's going to be like a bunch of progression breaking things with this setup right now. Awesome. Okay, well, I'm gonna call that a win for today. Despite all the interruptions, thanks for coming by.